This podcast is sponsored by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/mediahole to get your free 30-day trial, including one free audiobook. There's over 180,000 to choose from, and you can listen to them on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or any MP3 playing device. Thank you so much, Audible. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/mediahole. All right, everybody, welcome to the Media Hole Podcast. This is a weekly podcast where me and my good friend Ian love to talk about movies and films and television and games and stuff and news. It's good.
That was a strong word.
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
And in fact, we've recently found out that we are the only podcast.
Yeah.
There are no others, so you have
Any
to,
other
I
podcasts
guess.
you guys have been listening to, you're just lying to yourselves, and that's just your brain.
Every other podcast you've heard is non-canon.
The nice thing, though, is when you hear is when your homie says, like, bro, I also listen to that podcast, it's because your wavelengths have synced up.
Yeah. It's like when girls have the period at the same time.
Yeah, and if you both were like, bro, my favorite podcast is the Joe Rogan Experience, you're annoying.
Yeah. It's true. You go to the gym too much if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
So, Ian, we're still in quarantine, by the way. It's still a remotely recorded boy.
Yeah.
How's your quarantine been?
I'm bored all the time. Life, it doesn't change that much, it's just that I don't get to see my friends.
Yeah.
I'm drunk all the time, that's also a thing.
I'm not because...
I just woke up, so
broken.
I'm not right now.
Yeah. I had an extra large coffee today. But yeah, so let's get on right in there, Greg. Get on to the news.
Yeah.
It's the tagline of the show. Write it down. So first things first, let's start in alphabetical order, maybe. I don't know, I haven't checked. It's just the order I've written things here. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, did you see this?
I did. I can't believe there was a woman on the battlefield. That is historically inaccurate, because I believe that men have only done things in history.
Game
I
bad.
don't know what the shield mating thing is. Why are you talking to me?
But yeah, so you can play as a male or a female once again. Character's name is
Good.
Ivor, or Evor, or Avor.
Did not look that deep into it, because it's just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, it's also coming out for PS4, PS5, Xbone, Xbox Sex, and Stadia.
And PC.
And PC, I guess. Only
Don't
via
disrespect
Uplay
my
and
choice.
Epic Game Store.
I don't care anymore. I'll watch it. I'll play on whatever. I'll probably just get it on Uplay then.
Yeah. I'll get it on Stadia.
That's the worst option.
Yeah, no, I'll get it on PS5, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, it looks pretty good. Makes me want to go back and start reading Vinland Saga again.
I guess that's Vikings.
Yeah, because it's Vikings in England when they had the war with the Saxons.
Yeah. Once again, it's white people being evil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Vikings are pretty white, too. Right?
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, looks pretty neat. I don't really care about Assassin's Creed anymore, because unlike the rest of the world and people that I interact with, where they're like, yeah, Origins was the first good one again, I'm like, Origins was the first bad one again.
The first bad one again? No, it continued the trend of being bad.
In my opinion, Syndicate is one of my faves. My faves
Okay,
are
that's fine.
Syndicate 2 and Brotherhood.
Syndicate 2.
No, Syndicate, comma, 2, like Assassin's
Okay.
Creed 2, comma, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Alright, that's fine. Not Black Flag?
No, I mean, I liked that game, but I didn't love it.
I'm about the same. I think that game's fun.
Yeah.
It's just the boat sucks.
I just don't like how they were like.
That's what I hate about Odyssey as well. I get it, you need a boat because it's Greece, and Greece is mostly islands, but I fucking hate being on it.
I just don't like Assassin's Creed becoming more RPG because it doesn't feel earnest. It just feels like, do you know what made money? The Witcher. Let's try to copy that style of side quests and shit.
Yeah, or it's just like, you know what everyone loves? Big open worlds. Hey man, you forgot the part of the second part of that sentence, which is big open worlds with tons of things to do. And they're like, what?
Well, there are lots of side quests.
We did the first part and shipped it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just like any other Ubisoft game, right? Like Far Cry 5.
There was more stuff to do in Far Cry 5.
Really? Than Odyssey?
Yeah.
Because I heard Odyssey was a much longer game to do.
Odyssey is a longer game because there's like side quests. Okay, well, there's more side quests in Odyssey. Like, Far Cry was more like a GTA where it's just a sandbox where they want you to do their story stuff, and then whatever else you can do, but then it doesn't work because there's not a lot of other people to interact with, and the whole point is that you're supposed to be this, like, freedom fighter, so murdering helpless civilians like you do in GTA doesn't really work in that context.
Yeah.
And then Assassin's Creed is like has guards everywhere. There's actually people to fight. You don't have to wait for guards to come across you. You can do things, and then there's story. There's like side quests everywhere.
Yeah, what I felt about Far Cry 5, my least favorite thing. So I got to one of the boss battles in the game, and I didn't really like it that much. And I was like, I don't know if it was necessarily the first. It was like one of the areas I had cleared, and the character whom I killed said something that really pissed me off with like what the story was, which is like this evil cult of people who are like hoarding guns and think the world's going to shit. They're
religious cultists.
Yeah, religious cultist.
The cult is Christianity.
Yeah, it's Christian themed cult, and for whatever reason, the guy I tried to shoot said that like Trump was bad, and I'm like, this is completely out of character, and you've rewritten lines and things to make the bad guys for whatever reason more liberal, so that it doesn't seem like you're saying anything political, which is like so dumb.
They were like too scared to actually do something.
Well, yeah, because if the cult was, and the cult's also very multicultural.
They want you to know that they don't discriminate.
They're like, no.
They want to murder everyone, and they treat women horribly, but
we can't.
They can also fight.
Yeah.
Like, did you do did you just do the one guy, or did you?
I think I did a couple, but I think no. You know what? I think I just did the one guy.
I did the guy who tries to baptize you.
Yeah.
Or he tries to murder you with via baptism, because you get captured a bunch in that game. Like, it's ridiculous.
You get captured every area once you get
I got captured like 4 fucking times with the brother that tries to like convert you. Then I got captured by the sister, but then as you go through the sister's thing, you find out that she's like super abused and has been like, and it was also drugged to be a part of this, and like probably raped a bunch, but they can't say that because no one gets raped in media unless it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because it's an unpleasant topic to talk about.
Yeah. And also
it really isn't
it's hard
for anyone other than shock value.
Yeah.
So you go through her thing. You still end up killing her. I don't even think you have the option of like forgiving her, because they're trying to pull the card, or it's like, she's not the bad guy. She's just made to be the bad guy. And it's like, okay, whatever. I don't care. It's up to you about your morals and stuff with that. Or do you want to save her because she's a hot woman? So, like, you just give up. Like, you just have to kill her. I did her, and the younger brother. I had to go do the older brother, the one in the mountains.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not doing that. Fuck that guy.
I think mine, the one I did was the one in the mountains, like the older brother.
Yeah.
Where he's like this businessman style guy who doesn't seem like he actually believes in the cult.
Businessman?
He like wears
He's like a military man.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the guy in the suit then, I guess.
What guy in the suit?
There's a guy who wears a suit.
That's not the guy in the mountains.
Okay. I did the guy who wears the suit.
That's the guy who tries to convert you a bunch.
Okay.
I thought the only fucking actual cool moment in that game was when, like, the first time you get captured, they're, like, doing their baptisms, and he recognizes you, and he just goes, like, yo, wait 1 second, this one's unclean, and he almost kills you.
Yeah.
But then his brother goes up, he's like, no, that is not our way, and it's like, cool, now you're gonna release me 5 times, and I'm going to kill members of your family and single-handedly destroy your cult.
Yeah, but, much like how they got really well liked by doing it in Far Cry 4, in this one also, if you refuse to arrest him, you get the good end.
The fast end.
No, it's considered a good end, because...
Why?
Okay,
because you let them go and take over the United States?
End of the game, the thing they're predicting is right, and the U.S. gets, nuked, and then New Dawn happens.
Okay. That's dumb.
Yeah.
At least the end of Far Cry 4... Do you find out that you're Pagan Min's son at the beginning of Far Cry 4, or do you have to play a bit?
I think you find out partway through. I didn't play that one.
Yeah. I got really bored of that one, like, very quickly.
I played 3, and I've played 5.
Yeah.
And I played a bit of 2.
The problem with 3 is great, because 3 is pretty flat.
Yeah, the only issue with 3 is that Voss isn't the final boss. He's, like, partway through, you kill him.
He's, like, 75% of the way through.
Yeah.
I think the big issue with 3 is the multiple endings and how stupid they are.
Yeah.
Like, you either you either brutally murder your entire friend, like your cast of friends, to get a chance at this pussy, and then you yourself get stabbed in the heart after you come at her once. She doesn't even wait for confirmation. She just says, "I feel it," kills you.
Yeah.
You have a great post-mortem nut. Or you leave, and then the black dude who helped you at the start of the game, can't remember his name anymore, he fucking tries to stab you out of rage because you're betraying the Order or whatever, which was just as evil as Voss's, just less so.
Yeah.
So he tries to stab you, and Hot Lady moves in front, and she gets stabbed, and she goes like, "You can't kill him, he's the best one of us," and it's like, yeah, sure. The white guy shows up, and he's the best one of us.
That character's weird.
The whole series is weird.
Yeah. It's funny how that one Far Cry game had the dinosaurs in it, and none of the other ones have actually gone that crazy.
Wait, which one?
Hunting Ground, like one of the first ones. Like Far Cry 1 and something like that.
Sure, I don't know.
Like between 1 and 2.
Okay.
2's pretty cool, though. I think they should redo 2.
Oh, it doesn't need a remake. Game's already perfect.
No, I don't think a remake. Just remaster it. Like,
okay.
Because it's got better visual effects and physics stuff than 5 does. Like, there's this side-by-side comparison video where it's like fire spreading on grass in 2 versus fire in 5. And, like, while 5 is, like, technically better graphics, like, 2 is like, a much better, like, system and engine situation. The things that it simulates. The only problem for me is that it's got that Dead Rising 2 problem. Where you're, like, you need to have medication by a certain time or else the game's basically over. Because you die of malaria.
Malaria.
Okay. So we talked about Sony last week, and this week we've got more Sony.
Yeah. Is it about a AAA game that got delayed for no reason?
There's one thing that you do know, And then there's a second thing which you don't know. Which one do you want first?
Let's go with the one. Are they related?
No. One is Sony Pictures. One is Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Well, let's go pictures first.
All right, baby. So, the official Sony-owned @Spider-Man Movie Twitter tweeted out something that confused a lot of people. It was an ad for a sale of films on Prime Video. And the tweet says, quote, "Join Spider-Man and all his friends when you swing through all the films from the Spider-Man universe of characters. Complete your Spider-Man movie collection with this limited time Prime Video offer, which had essentially every mainline Spider-Man movie from the Raimi to the Mark Webb to the whatever the new guy's name is, John Watts. Disney. Well, they're actually still Sony, but Disney.
Well,
collab.
Disney partnered once.
Yeah.
But.
So that was something that people were confused about because they were like, "Oh yeah, I wonder what Sony calls their MCU," and people are like, "Well, I guess it's called the Spider-Man universe of characters." And so that became a little bit popular on the Twitter, and then IGN reached out to Sony to ask what the official name was, and somehow it's worse than the Spider-Man universe of characters.
What is it?
So, their Marvel movie universe is called Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters.
SPUMC.
Yeah, I was going with SPUMC or SPUMS. Which one would you rather call it from now on the podcast? SPUMPS. We're pro SPUMPS on this podcast?
Yeah, we are a spump gang.
The SPUMPS cast, sick. All right. Yeah. So I just thought that was a funny news story that no one was really talking about.
Psycho mode.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now obviously the big one, The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, a game that got delayed for no reason.
Well, it got delayed indefinitely due to COVID, and then got a new release date for June 19th.
Because the whole game was leaked.
Yeah, basically a massive leak.
Every story beat.
A massive leak of every story beat and some of the cutscenes. I read the summary. It seems not as good as the original.
Okay, good thing we're on the same page here because I really did not want to argue about this.
If you're gonna call the game fucking
like the
Part
gameplay.
2.
Yeah, I don't like the gameplay of The Last of Us, but I think the story is stellar.
Yeah.
Other than, whatever. It's stupid that Joel saves Ellie at the end, but
I don't think that's stupid. I think anybody who claims
it's
that
stupid
doesn't
in the
understand
grand
it.
scheme of things of a virus that is airborne that infects you pretty easily.
Yeah, but every other person on the
actually a
planet
bad
is a piece of
pandemic.
shit, and Ellie is my new daughter, and I don't give a shit about any other person on this planet.
Oh,
Right?
I deafened myself by accident.
Oh. Well, the point is that, of the game is everybody sucks, and survival is about looking out for number one and the people closest to you.
It's all the older people that suck. It's like when Joel encounters those brothers, the older brother, he's kind of a little trusting, but he's still a dick. But the younger brother was like, "Hey, fellow kid, you want to hang out?"
Yeah, but the point is that in this new world, everybody kind of learns that they need to look out for number one, and it's not the bandits' fault that they're trying to rip you off, and it's not your fault that you're murdering them in self-defense. It's just the way the world is, and that's the thing that the game is trying to communicate. And so these people go, "We will kill your daughter to save everybody else," and you go, "I don't want everybody else. I want my daughter to be alive."
But it's not your daughter.
But
it's a girl that you put the feelings of
surrogate daughter.
Yeah, it's the daughter you adopted by force, because you were just made to escort her to Washington or whatever the fuck. Was it Washington?
It was something like that.
You just had to escort her there, and then you just happened to talk a couple times, and the lady you were fucking gets killed, and she believed in it, so you had to go forward to do it. So, and then on the journey there, Joel just decides, hey, I bet my daughter, if she aged past the age of 10, would have been the same by the age of 15 or 14, however old Ellie is.
Well, the daughter, they were both 14. They're the same age-ish.
Okay. So, yeah, Joel just...
But
he's like, I can't imagine losing someone again. And
Yeah.
so she's like, she deserves a chance at life.
Well, but
what's
that's also
life
true about
in this
Ellie.
piece of shit world?
But that's also true
Like,
about
you
Ellie.
literally
It's
can
not like
die.
Ellie consented to die for it, and it's not like Ellie didn't also forge a father-daughter bond with Joel.
No. The story wants you
Yeah.
to say, to think that it's better this way.
No.
Literally, for the sake of the world, it's so bad.
Well, it's like it's a selfish ending because humanity doesn't deserve a good one. It's the same as the ending of Cabin in the Woods. Anybody who screamed
I don't care if humanity doesn't deserve a good one, because there's still people out there who aren't bad. We've only seen shitty people, so you're assuming that everyone's shitty, but that doesn't mean everyone's shitty.
No, but
That's like the fucking dudes in Castlevania who, like, like the Forge Masters who, like, I hate the fucking world because I was around shitty people my whole life. But there's good people out there.
Yeah.
You can't condemn an entire world because you've only seen bad people, because Neil Druckmann was just like, I think the world's bad.
No, but also I'm saying that if you were in that situation, you wouldn't let your friend die for everybody else.
You're right. I probably wouldn't. You know what? But I also wouldn't have killed a bunch of doctors, because I bet doctors are really hard to come across in a post-apocalyptic world.
I think that ending is smart. I think it's a smart, selfish ending because I think it makes sense for the characters.
Yeah, and then it sets up who the villain is for The Last of Us.
No,
Good
that's
job.
not what it does. That I think them pulling out of their ass who the villain of The Last of Us 2 is, which I don't want to spoil on here because people didn't ask for that. But like the villain of The Last of Us 2, I think is I think
Go on.
I know what happens, but like I think the villain of The Last of Us 2 and how they've pulled that character out of their ass to be like, oh, this thing, oh, your choices from the first one had consequences. Like, fuck you. It's bad writing. You can't introduce this is the kid of a different person. Anytime you introduce this is the kid of a random character from the last one that never got mentioned, it feels dumb. Like,
Also, it's a war. It's a war brought down upon people who are not related to like you're at least the main character, and she has to deal with this fucking dickhead
yeah.
because Joel killed their parent.
Well, yeah,
In The Last of Us
and
1.
the situation is like it's what's really frustrating about it is like Last of Us. Okay, they've called it Last of Us Part 2, which implies that the first game and this game create a complete story or two parts of a complete story. That's what Part 2 implies, not versus calling it Last of Us 2, right? It's
Yeah.
Part 2. And thematically, the first Last of Us is about found family, it's about survival, and it's about morality changing in a world that doesn't have the same kind of rules as ours, right? Those are the themes of the first Last of Us. And Last of Us Part 2 just leans heavy on one major theme, which is the cycle of violence and hate, which isn't something mentioned in the first Last of Us. And in a post-apocalypse world, there is no room for revenge because feelings like that get pushed to the sidelines when it becomes about survival. And so I just feel like A, a revenge story is pointless in this kind of world, and B, it's just not consistent with the theming and tone of the previous game.
Yeah, where there was a bit of hope in the previous game.
Well, it's not even about
Even if you're going against
it's not
what
even
is
about
actually creating hope. It's going like it was hopeful that you had that Joel was this grizzled dickhead and then found something and he decided to be nicer.
Yeah, it's about finding the good in a fucked up, broken world, and when that good gets taken away from you, you know, that's not good. But but yeah, this is like the exact opposite, and I feel like it's frustrating and annoying, especially because Druckmann had promised everybody that like we'll not do a sequel unless the story's really good, and to wait 7 years for this,
He seems pretty masturbatory, so he probably thought the story was stellar.
I don't know. To wait 7 years for this feels like a fucking waste of time.
Well, 6 years.
The Last of Us.
It was announced in 2014.
No, the first game came out in 2013. Not the game was announced. This one was announced like in 2015, 2016.
It was 2014.
Really?
I was just on the Wikipedia page for it.
Oh shit.
I'm double checking, but I'm 90% sure I'm right.
Left Behind and American Dreams for better follow-ups.
Wasn't Left Behind a
standalone DLC?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't that prior?
That came out like a year after the first Last of Us.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Yeah, it takes place during the winter.
Oh, wait, you're right. Well, you weren't right, but I was wrong. You were kind of right. Half right. Last of Us Part 2 was announced in 2016.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said 2015, 2016, so you're half right.
All right. But yeah, I feel like this is a big poopy dipey. But let's lean into some more info about the leak. So let's see, what do I got written down?
I'm not trying to find out who the leaker. I'm not trying to tell Sony who the leaker is. I just want to know who the leaker is. I just really would like, me personally, for my own curiosity, I would like to be the one to break the news about who the leaker was without telling you who they are, but telling you every minor detail about who they are, that it might help Naughty Dog and Sony break it down on who it was. Fuck you, Jason Schreier.
Jason, I left my job to work for Mike Bloomberg. Schreier.
Yeah.
Fucking Bloomberg bullshit. Anyway, initial reports claim that they were leaked by a former employee of Naughty Dog to protest them going unpaid for multiple weeks of work. And right after that, Sony announced the new release date, like right after the leak, because they were like, fuck. Yeah. They also announced the release date for Ghost of Tsushima, which was July 17.
Yeah, allegedly. Apparently Naughty Dog does the same thing as Gearbox.
Yeah.
Which is that they pay you under industry rates, but you get a big bonus 6 months after the game came out.
Oh, yeah?
So since they delayed the game indefinitely, no one knew when that release date was, and they had plans for that money. So they asked Naughty Dog, could we get an advance on the estimation of what the money would be?
Yeah.
And they said no.
Ooh.
Probably because they didn't actually have the money, and they weren't going to go to Daddy Sony and be like, you guys won't let us put our game out. Can we have some money?
Yeah.
And they said no. He got mad about that. The allegation that I saw, but I saw it on Reddit, so that's not real.
Yeah. Is
that Neil Druckmann asked for the same thing, but got it because it's Neil Druckmann.
That would be not cool.
Yeah. Though it's that they were prioritizing the more front-facing employees, the important ones.
Well, and higher up ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naughty Dog, this is the beginning of the end for Naughty Dog, I think. Like, all those people leaving, leading up to Uncharted 4, and then this, like, all the Last of Us shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is the beginning of the end for them. Like, Amy Hennig left, Bruce Straley left, fucking tons of their senior people who aren't known names left. Like, Druckmann is basically the last major creative force left at the company.
Yeah, he's not great.
Yeah, and, like, whether or not you think he's great or terrible or somewhere in between, like I do, I think, to put it lightly, the most optimistic way to say it is that Neil Druckmann wasn't prepared for this large of a role. Like, he's apparently good at directing motion capture. All the actors have nothing but good things to say about him. But maybe he shouldn't be leading development teams or like production, like the parts of it that are less artistic, because it's clearly running him ragged and he's making terrible decisions and people are leaving. They're leaving all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it turns out, according to Sony and Jason Schreier, on May 1st, they said they had identified the leaker as someone who had no affiliation with Sony or Naughty Dog. And Jason Schreier said that his sources within Naughty Dog claimed it was a hacker who exploited a server issue with an older Naughty Dog game and got access to the files.
Mm.
So
they don't want the bad press of having a disgruntled employee.
who's to say, right? Like, there are, the thing saying that it was a disgruntled employee was also a Reddit post. So, there are some things are a bit more, like, decent than others for sources, but on the other hand, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Also, Sony is putting DMCA strikes on YouTube videos which have negative opinions on the leaks, on like the things covered in the leaks. So I just want to say right here, dude, The Last of Us 2 looks fucking great. What a great looking game. Gotta love it. Pre-order day one. God bless. Gotta love it. Great graphics, great story, great acting, great production. Booyah.
Game looks like shit.
No, I'll probably still play the game because obviously, like, the story summary isn't the execution, and they could do it. It could be better than it does read in the fucking list. And also, I like the gameplay of The Last of Us, and obviously, the graphics of this will be very nice. But I'm not as jazzed about it.
Yeah.
But who fucking cares about that? New trailer for Deadly Premonition 2, baby!
Who cares about that?
Me, bitch. Deadly Premonition's great. It's pretty clearly the opening credit sequence for the game, modeling itself after like a TV opening. The trailer ends announcing the release date as July 10th, 2020, 7 days before Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
What we know about the story of Deadly Premonition 2 is that you work on one murder case in modern-day Boston as a character named Aaliyah Davis, who seems new, and it connects to a case that happened 15 years in the past that you work on as series protagonist Francis York Morgan in the fictional Louisiana town Le Quart. It's also been announced that in the Le Quart sections, York can skateboard, with the skateboard having upgrades letting you go faster or pull off harder tricks.
Sick.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk solves a murder.
Here I am, doing everything I can, holding on to what I am.
I'm a Superman.
Hell yeah. Good shit. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that. I love Deadly Prem. We've talked about it before on the pod. This looks fun. I like Swery. Swery follows me on Twitter, eh?
Good for you.
Yeah, and so does Yoko Taro.
Suck their dick too hard?
I obviously not too hard, because they followed me. It's the right amount.
Okay. Yeah, the right... Fine, whatever.
Hey man, I'll take it. They're cool.
That's fine.
Hell yeah. But yeah, Ian, how excited are you for you? I know you loved. Oh wait, you didn't play Deadly Premonition. Did you? You loved.
No, I didn't play any of them. I don't care.
You love Dark Dreams Don't Die.
No, I don't.
Oh, you love The Missing.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Oh. You love spy fiction.
No.
Damn. You love Drakengard 3.
No.
Alright then, I guess you don't love Swery. But I do. God bless. I love Deadly Prem. And this looks cool.
Well, good for you.
And you got to admit, doing fucking skateboarding and solving a murder sounds dope.
It sounds cool, but...
Alright.
The game's like 3,000 years long.
Well, it's not. Those games aren't that long. They're like 20 hours. Well, at least the first one was like 20.
Yeah.
Because there's like a lot of side quests. Anyway. In other news, aliens are real.
Okay.
Do you hear about this?
No.
So the Pentagon has continued to release video footage of unexplained aerial phenomena, which is the new name for unidentified flying objects. There was 3 videos that the Navy had found of people in planes finding unidentified aerial phenomena. One of them's from 2004, 2 of them from 2015. And one of my favorites is the one from 2015. It's just like the guys flying the fucking planes are just like, dude, it's a fucking drone. No way, what the fucking headwind is like oh man, it's like, dude, fucking, it's like 120 knots. Oh, there's like a swarm of them, man. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
They talk like regular people that I know.
Talk like a bunch of bros flying a fucking plane.
Hey, bro, do you fucking see that shit? It looks like a fucking alien, bro.
Yeah.
No, but it's some pretty cool videos. Check them out. How do you feel about aliens being real, Ian?
Oh, as long as they're fuckable.
Uh,
Look, if the women ones don't just look like blue women, and the dudes look like grotesque monsters, I'm not down for it.
That's my favorite sci-fi video game trope. It's like
Sci-fi anything trope.
Yeah,
Look at Star Wars.
well,
Look
the
at
Star
fucking,
Wars. Yeah,
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek for sure. Actually, Klingons look relatively the same. Like people. It's the cheapest the costume. Right? Like
Yeah, you fuck up a man's face with prosthetics, and then the woman, you just paint the color to match the prosthetics and say it's the it's the woman. Or you make an entire species where their whole thing is to fuck and get the DNA to have fuck. Their whole thing is to have interracial sex.
You mean like the Asari?
And if they don't, the Asari, you are shamed upon if you have if you I almost said a normal baby. If you have a pure Asari baby, you're a sick fuck and you're wasting our time.
And they're all women.
Yeah.
That's chill. That's chill. Do you have any news, Ian? That's all my news.
No.
No news. Okay. Moving on to the weeks then, baby.
Well, actually,
Oh.
I thought I saved something. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have shit.
Dope.
What?
Oh, there was an article I just found saying that Bungie might explode one of the major planets in the game in the story. That a planet's going to disappear.
Of Destiny?
Yeah, Destiny 2.
Ooh. Who would it be? Oh, well, they're going with this thing. The fuck was that? Okay. They're going with this thing, there's this planet destroyer.
Yeah.
Or it's like they're trying to destroy the Earth with it. And it was from the original DLC. Oh, the base Destiny 2, which was just a DLC for Destiny 1. But
yeah, it's saying the darkness.
Darkness?
Yeah.
Imprisoning me?
Yeah, there's
that I
blinking
see?
lights in the shape of pyramid ships, likely representing the darkness flying into the solar system.
Man, they did that a long time ago when they showed
That was as of Season of the Worthy.
Oh, so they showed it again? I think they did. No, wait. You know what? They had another pyramid sort of thing at the end of the first campaign.
Yeah.
To show that the raid was coming. So the Leviathan raid.
So the vibe is maybe Mercury is going to get blown up.
Mercury's too close to like the inside of the solar system.
This is what data miners are claiming.
Mercury would be an easy one to blow up because there's nothing to do there. Like, it's literally a shit garbage planet.
Well, it's like apparently the article claims that it like dumps you there after certain raids.
What, Mercury?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
But yeah, fuck Mercury, that place sucks. I'd rather them get rid of like Io or something, but Io actually has more shit on it and it's been cared for. I just don't like that location. And I don't like the guy who lives there. He's a fucking asshole. He's annoying.
Cool. So what'd you do this week, Ian?
I did nothing but play Persona 5.
Oh, that's dope.
I am at the end. I am at the final palace.
The final or the final of the main game?
The final. The new one they added for Royal.
Oh, cool. You mean Palace?
I don't know who that is, and that's a spoiler, Nathan.
I don't know. This is just that's just what somebody told me.
Well, I got it spoiled for me straight up. Well, I thought I was just treating it as someone's speculation that it was, but yeah, it's is the final palace holder.
Dope.
He is stupid.
So I need to be
His
better
things-
friends with him then.
No, yeah, you have to get the best ending. You have to get to rank 5 with Kasumi, rank 8 with Akechi, and rank 10 with.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Is it not that hard to do?
No, it's not.
Okay, good.
I fucking maxed out every confidant.
I've never done that in any of
Well,
these
it's
games.
not hard.
Okay.
Just whenever if you can't max out time with them. Well, first get fortune up high, like get fortune to where you can use the affinity reading.
Yeah.
And if you can't go see fucking Sojiro
Yeah.
without it having like the up symbol next to his name,
Yeah.
don't go see him. Go see Chihaya, the fortune lady. Get an affinity reading for Sojiro. If it still doesn't say that you can, like, if it still doesn't have the up next to it, go do something else. Increase a social stat or something. Only try and read all the books, but save books that you can also read during when you get the train, when you're on the train, because that's all you can do there.
Yeah.
Or when you get Kawakami's thing up and you can read in class.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't go hang out. Also, always have a persona of the same type when you go talk to them, because you get bonus friendship points.
Yeah, I just find that it's hard to maintain personas.
It's not. You just walk back into the Velvet Room and resummon like a shitty version of it for no money. And also, this game throws cash at you.
That's true. That's true.
And grinding has never been easier, because also, why would you need to grind? Personas, overpowered personas are super easy to make in this one.
Yeah.
You can when you get, it's like one of Ryuji's.
Oh yeah, I have
something.
some really overpowered ones. I have Messiah.
Messiah.
Yeah.
Is that like an ability?
No, I have Messiah. It's a persona.
That's a persona.
Yeah, it's one of the DLC ones.
Oh,
I just cheated to get it.
Yeah, you just got it for free under your compendium.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get like Ryuji to rank 5 or something, you get this ability there where you can just instant kill personas.
Yeah.
If you use your third eye and instead of them being blue, they're light green, that means you can just run past them using like R2. And when you hit them, they just die. It's like the old one, the old thing in the previous game where you would ambush them, and if they were low enough rank, you would just instantly get the mask.
Yeah.
Which made ambushing suck when you actually had to grind out personas at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you get both the EXP and the money. So there's no harm in just going into mementos and like going to an area where you're like above everyone and just driving through
Yeah, you just
all
drive
the shadows
into them.
there. You just drive into them and you get their persona and you get the level, you get the EXP and the money, and if you're collecting the stamps there, you can get double the EXP.
Mm-hmm.
I got every single stamp and I maxed out the things, so when I was hitting people, I was getting like 10,000 yen every time, even up to like 20,000. I was getting like 12,000 XP every hit, and I would get 10 items. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
Yeah, so that game is super easy. You just need to think about your time and save your game before you do social stat stuff. Because if you're not getting level 3 increase, why bother?
I don't like playing the game like that. I don't keep multiple saves. I think
I'm not keeping multiple saves, I'm just saving before I do something.
Oh.
So if I get the unfavorable outcome, I stop. Like, I reload the save.
But do you know what, Ian? You can't do that
What?
in the real world.
I'm not playing the real world, I'm playing a fantasy game where I have social stats to increase how good I am with things.
I'd love if they fucking Undertaled you and did something if you do that. That'd be funny. But
That's
Ian,
be a lot of development.
have you been
What?
keeping up with our favorite show, Harley Quinn.
No, but I just found out yesterday that there is a second season.
Yeah, the second season's currently airing.
Yeah.
And it's really good. I got caught up. So I watched to the end of the first season, which had a really good ending. Fucking shake shit up.
Yeah.
And season 2, like, continues on that. It's basically an adaptation of No Man's Land, but somewhat changed. There's a good amount of changes. But essentially it's like Harley and her crew, like, essentially the city's been cut off, and, like, the Legion of Doom is disbanded, and there's no Batman, there's no Joker.
Yeah.
And so, like, essentially the big Batman villains, Ivy's, like, Harley's beefing with the big Batman villains that we all know and love, who have cut the city into pieces, and she's essentially trying to take over the city. So it's the Riddler, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, and Bane. They've all split the city, and so it's her trying to go to the different parts of the city to get back at all of them and take them out. And some fan favorite characters, some classic Batman villains, do die.
Yeah, they like to kill people on this show.
Yeah.
And then, except when they don't.
Yeah, like, they didn't kill the Joker, they just unjokered him.
Yeah, they didn't kill Poison Ivy, they just buried her in the ground and she rose again because she's a plant woman.
Yeah. I think
Batman's just somewhere.
Yeah. Batman is just somewhere. And I think the next episode, and to be fair, like, I think we're a week behind. I think they just get updated slowly, but I think the next episode is Batman coming back, and then the episode after that deals with Joker as a non-Joker, as just a regular man. But we've recently met Barbara Gordon.
She Batgirl?
No, she's like pre-Batgirl. Her origin happens this season. No. Okay, she's not Oracle. Cool. Her origin happens this season.
Okay.
Poor fucking Gordon. Poor Kamish. It's so bad.
Gordon in this show is so funny.
He's hilarious.
Like, the joke that Batman is like, we're not friends, we just work together. And then he goes... And then they do, like, a flashback to them just, like... Or, like, Batman has, like, a picture of Gordon, like, sitting on his desk.
Yeah.
When Harley actually...
No, it's a screensaver.
Oh, it's a screensaver. He's like, my screensaver started up, didn't it?
Yeah. It's so funny, though, like, how this takes stuff. Because it's, like, simultaneously fucking with the comics and being somewhat accurate. Like, the landlord guy, Cy Borgman... is somebody. Like, he's from the comics.
Cy Borgman?
That's his name, Cy Borgman.
Oh, yeah.
He's from the Harley Quinn comics. Like, he's real. Which I didn't realize, because he's, like, a recent invention, like, from 2014.
No. Is he also a landlord that can transform into a car?
I don't think he can transform into a car, but he is, like, a guy in a wheelchair with robot parts who does weird shit. Kite Man, they've done a lot more with him, which is, like, kind of the only thing I hate about this show. But also I like the character because he's so funny.
I like Kite Man. I don't like him as Ivy's boyfriend. Or, sorry, fiance.
It gets so much better with what happens with...
Like, because it doesn't, like... I get it that they're hanging out off screen, so they might be.
You see more of them together.
Yeah, so like you started to see more of them together as time went on. Like when she like rejected him and then I guess gave him a chance. Ivy seems to just attract garbage human beings.
Yeah.
Like people who are just awful right now.
And he
like
becomes like
the worst of it.
And he becomes like the only decent person in her life.
Yeah, it's just that I like Ivy and Harley together as gay boys. I think that's great.
Me too. But you're still gonna like season 2 of this show a lot. Like it's still got
well, it's not like a fucking deal breaker. I'm definitely not seeing Ivy and Kite Man together going, "Ugh, that's not my ship. I'm not watching anymore."
Yeah.
Like
I think an episode that I haven't seen got a big laugh out of people because there's a character wearing a Release the Snyder Cut shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. Funny. The episode with Harley's parents in season 1 was like kind of sad.
Yeah, but it was also very funny.
Oh, it was very funny. It was just also kind of
Why
sad.
couldn't you just be a normal Jewish girl and marry a doctor?
I
and
am
she's
a
just
doctor.
like, I am a doctor. Yeah.
Good shit.
It's funny to think that like Harley actually uses her like degree all the time, but there's like doctors in the show that are just like actual crazy dudes.
Yeah.
Who don't do anything. Like isn't fucking Dr. Psycho like he's a doctor as well?
Oh yeah. Well, it's really funny
But
that
he's just like an actual psychopath.
Yeah, no, but he is some kind of doctor. But it was really
I'll give
funny.
you $50 right now to stick me in your pocket.
That's funny.
Yeah, that made me laugh really hard. But it's
for
like,
sure.
oh, that's why his wife was huge. Not for the disparity for that joke.
Yeah.
It's that he's actually has a fetish about tall women.
And also like there's so many characters in the show. Of the main group, there are 3 characters who are doctors.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit where they're doing the gravestone for Poison Ivy, and it's like, hey, she's a doctor. And they zap it on.
Yeah. I like the shark guy. He's fun.
Oh, King Shark, Ron Funches. Yeah. He's great. But yeah, check out season 2 of the show. It's really good.
Yeah. I probably will. It's not like I have much else going on.
Yeah. I've been liking season 2, I think, more than season 1, like, because it's stringing together some great story stuff. Like, there's a Mr. Freeze episode, and that episode's fucking great.
Nice. Does he say ice to meet you?
No. He, he's the most woke villain.
Oh, great.
No, in a good way, like, they come there to try to kill him, and everybody feels bad because he's a much more decent person than everybody assumed he was. Like,
Alright.
like he's like, so they froze, so the group of villains at the beginning, why Harley's pissed off at him is they froze her, like Mr. Freeze's gun, they froze her and left her in Penguin's club for months. And like, so that she's like, I'm the most pissed at Freeze. And then Freeze is like, no, they all wanted to kill you, and I thought that was wrong to kill women, so I froze them. And you can tell lots of big crime people were happy to see women treated as objects they can put on display. It's a disgusting thing, but it's better than the other alternative.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, it's really good. Also, my favorite line of his is when all the villains meet and they're like, we're all the biggest organized criminals in Gotham. And it's like, I'm not organized criminal. I am a doctor doing what needs to be done to save my wife. And how are you doing that? Organized crime. It's a fucking great show. The Riddler is great. He's got a fucking whole thing going on. You know, they introduced Barbara Gordon, like I said. It's just so much good stuff. Like, everything kind of ties together to be more of an arc in this season. Like, it's like each episode sort of happens right after the last one. It's not the same level of episodic. So it's like a little bit less Rick and Morty.
That's good.
And speaking of, I've also been rewatching Community because it's all on Netflix.
That's good.
It's a good show. Yeah.
I have like no desire to rewatch Community. Like there's things like my sister was rewatching it. I walked downstairs and I'm like, huh, this show's funny. I just don't care.
Yeah. See, I fell in love with Community back in like high school. I loved that show.
That's when it came out.
Yeah, when it was coming out.
We were all watching it as it came out. It was sick.
Yeah.
But then it just started going through shit, and it's like, this is so annoying to keep up with. And then it was like, it changed stations like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But then that's also when the show just kind of got
well,
okay.
Season 4 sucked. So in my opinion about the show, I didn't even watch season 6, which makes me sad, and I will watch it when I get there now. But like,
because it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's all on Netflix, so it's like whatever. But when I was following it, like I was watching new episodes as they came out, and like season 4, I was like hyped for, and I was like, I know it's not going to be the same because they got rid of Dan Harmon, but it was like so significantly worse. But then it came out at like season 5, and like Dan Harmon having been through that and started creating Rick and Morty, like I felt the show got so much more cynical in season 5.
Yeah.
Like that, and then I was like, oh, I don't like this as much as I used to. Like it's still better than season 4, but it's just not as good as seasons 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then season 6, obviously, it went to Yahoo, and whatever, not as good. Also, they changed where the sets were, I believe, for season either 5 or 6, and the lighting's all different. They moved the sets to a basement, and the sets all look so much like worse lit.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's not weird. Nobody cared about that show, which is funny because like half the people on that show became some of the biggest names in entertainment.
Yeah. Except for some of them.
Yeah, I said half.
Yeah, well.
Like Dan Harmon, Rick and Morty became huge. It's fucking the biggest animated thing of all time.
Unfortunately, Chevy Chase was already famous.
Yeah, well, he's, whatever. Nobody cares about him anymore. But like fucking Jim Rash, Kent Jong all saw like big improvements to their career after this.
Yeah, well, Jim Rash went and wrote like a fucking Academy Award winning picture.
Yeah. But like also
Ken Jeong was like, I'm also, on top of being a comedian, I'm also a licensed doctor. And they're like, let's give you a TV show about being a funny doctor, huh?
He got to be the lead in a show instead of being like a side character.
Yeah. And also not a giant weirdo like he always has to play in everything.
Yeah. The Russo brothers, right?
Went on to be Captain America boys.
Yeah, and then direct the highest grossing film of all fucking time.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, it's not a true art film though, so it's bad.
Well,
it's not cinema.
Yeah, I mean it isn't cinema.
Donald Glover went on to star in a bunch of stuff and also just release music whenever he felt like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we become like a multi-Grammy winning fucking music artist.
He became what people wanted Kanye West to be.
Yeah. Write, direct, and star in his own show and make music and do great stand-up comedy. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, he did one stand-up special.
He did 2.
And then he was like...
He did a half hour and an hour and a full hour.
I saw...
The half hour is harder to find.
Probably because it was just like something he uploaded.
No, it was...
Didn't really go anywhere.
It was the half hour was for TV, and then the 1 hour was the one that sold on DVD and had like an album. It's the one you've seen. Weirdo is the full hour.
Yeah.
But that's a great stand-up thing.
The thing with his stand-up specifically, like whenever I remember it, is he definitely, like his stories he tells,
Yeah.
are just humor. Like it's him telling stories that happen in his childhood.
Oh yeah.
Well, or like things that he's done, sort of thing. Where comedians will tell you stories vaguely referencing something that happened in their life, but then they put on a comedic spin where maybe it's not even true anymore.
Yeah.
They're just trying to tell you a funny story or get to a punchline. Or they make observations that everyone else has made, they just do it in a fun way. Or they act it out and be like, give a lot of high energy. Donald Glover just had that, like, I can talk on stage.
Yeah.
and you're all gonna listen to these funny jokes.
Well, it's
but
like
the jokes are just stories that
it's because he's naturally funny. He's got really good delivery, and he's like very energetic and like physical. So it's like he can tell the story, and like the story's funny, and the way he says it and the fucking like motions he's doing are just so much like double and triple that funny. Like I don't think that like there's this story where they shat in the fucking Home Depot toilet. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all like stuff when he's a kid.
A lot of the stories were stuff when he was a kid.
Yeah, but
or just like troubles he had while he was dating.
For my money, he essentially his shtick with like his faces and his body language. It's very much like Kevin Hart, but actually funny and talented.
It's very much like Kevin Hart, but Kevin Hart probably before he even got his first stand-up special.
Yeah.
And he had to start lying about his life. Or because Kevin Hart...
Because I'm just remembering
put out, like, a new special every single year since he got famous.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who just never stops making stand-up specials. But he just had... He's Black Dane Cook, except he doesn't steal his jokes.
Yeah. But like the Donald Glover one that I'm like remembering now and going like, yeah, I guess that's just like a better version of a Kevin Hart joke is like the one where he's talking about like, and that's why your mom's in a fucking wheelchair. Like that's a fucking Kevin Hart joke, but it's so funny.
Well, and also the he does like a hard physical reaction to it when after he tells it where he's like, what?
Yeah, it's like
that kid said
so
that?
Big. He's like, how do the fucking good people police don't come down and go, sorry, this one slipped through. He's actually a demon.
Yeah.
Like it's like in anybody else's hand that joke isn't funny, but in his, like, it's so big and so over the top, but it still works.
If Tyler the Creator was more of a stand-up guy and less of a sketch comedy guy, he would have like a stand-up special that was exactly the same as that.
Yeah.
Like he just throws out shit that sound instead of like you're like there's a really popular one on TikTok.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
no, you know what? I've got a better one.
Someone talking shit to Tyler, and he just goes like, "Your girlfriend looks like my mom."
I've got a better one. Tyler is depression. Donald is anxiety. Because he's like full of energy. He's like, whoa, right? Like, but it's all very scared of everything. Whereas Tyler is like not scared. He's just determined and like down energy, but still funny.
I do not like Tyler's newest album.
Yeah?
Yeah, did you listen to it?
No, I don't listen to him.
Oh, okay. Well, Flower Boy was... How did you feel about... what fucking album came out
Awaken My Love?
because of the internet? Yeah, how did you feel about Awaken My Love?
I really liked Awaken My Love, even though it was very different. I thought it was a very interesting step.
In the tone shift, it's exactly the same as the difference between Tyler's newest album and Flower Boy.
Okay.
But like,
well, wasn't Flower Boy already kind of a shift from his more edgy early shit?
Yeah, well, he was more edgy. He was talking. Like one of his older songs, he just talks about like fucking killing himself and how he's depressed all the time, or how he's just gonna fucking snap and kill someone one day.
Yeah.
Sort of shit. And then the Flower Boy was more like introspective about he's like, man, I'm fucked up. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But then the new one, it feels like a character.
Oh.
Like it feels different.
That's what honestly. That's the reason why I like.
Actually, the album's called Igor, and the first song is Igor's theme, and it's him, and he's been wearing that fucking blonde bowl cut wig since the album came out.
Oh.
So I think he's in a character now.
That's cool. I really wanted to. I haven't had time. Well, not had time, but I just haven't sat down and listened to the new Childish Gambino album that came out in March yet. I've just listened to like the two main songs that I heard on the tour when I went, like in 2018, which is wild that those songs existed that long ago.
Man, I should go back and listen to.
But yeah, I
stuff.
I love all of Childish Gambino's albums. I've been a huge fan of him since before he was selling them and when he was just putting them out for free.
Yeah. when he was just dropping them on his website, being like, "Have fun."
Yeah, like in high school, like I had a phone and like one of
Whoa, crazy.
no, but the on my phone, the most listened to album was "I Am Just a Rapper" 1, I think. And that's those are the songs where he's rapping on top of an indie song, like "Crown on the Ground" and shit like that. His one over Grizzly Bear's 2 Weeks, I remember really liking.
Okay.
I forget what that song's called, or maybe that song's called 2 Weeks, and the Grizzly Bear song's called something else. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Dope. Gotta love. Childish, gotta love Community. Oh, Alison Brie, fucking, she's in everything now.
Yeah, Alison Brie popped off.
Yeah, Lego
she was also
movie.
in a horrible
Glow.
movie though. She was in that fucking. Speaking of Kevin Hart, she was in that Will Ferrell Kevin Hart movie.
She was.
Where she plays
his girlfriend,
his wife.
Oh, his wife.
Yeah, it's his wife, but you know, it's Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Who's like in his 50s, and Alison Brie, who was probably like 28.
I think she was like a bit older than, because Allison, one thing I found out when I was looking at Community is like, even though their characters are about 10 years age difference, Alison Brie and Gillian Jacobs are the same age.
Okay, wait, that 37. When did the fuck did Get Hard come out? You know,
I can't.
IMDb.
I can't hear you. You're cutting out.
No, I just wasn't speaking loud enough to pick it for the mic to pick up.
But yeah, Community's a great show. And if you like,
2015, so she was like 32 in that movie.
yeah,
But still, Will Ferrell's like in his 50s, and it's one of those like old man, hot young wife.
yeah,
The opening of that movie is so fucking awful. It's Will Ferrell gets up and does like naked Pilates in front of his mirror. Or, you know, he does like some naked stretches, but it's like namaste bullshit.
yeah.
And he's doing it, and then it's like close up on him, like upper body, just doing it, and then he just looks down and he says, "Good morning," and there's like a Mexican like tending to his fucking plants outside.
Oh,
And it's like, that's funny, great.
because he's a
had
shitty
his
rich
dick in
man.
someone's face for like the last 2 minutes. He's a shitty rich guy. And then he goes to get ready for work. He looks like shit the whole time. Like, they did not try and make Will Ferrell look good at all in this movie. And then Alison Brie pops out, and she's like, it's like 8 a.m., and she's in full lingerie, just trying to show off that Alison Brie is fucking hot.
Yeah,
And then she just says some like gross shit, and they make like weird sex noises, and then the movie just starts. And then it cuts to Kevin Hart. He's just like a normal dude looking for a job, but it's hard because he went to prison for 6 months. So no one's hiring. Yeah, so that movie's just fucking bad. I feel bad for anyone who watched it and was like, "That's fun," because you are deeply damaged.
I did not watch that film because it looked bad.
Yeah,
But I think it's mostly
same.
because straight comedies.
I watched it with my friends on stream because they knew how bad it was, and they were like, "You gotta see the opening of this. It's awful." I'm like, "Okay."
Well, it's just for me, like, I think most just straightforward comedy movies made in the last, like, 10 years have been really fucking terrible. Like, not action comedy, not, like, romantic comedy. I'm saying any straight comedy. And
Other guys.
Huh?
The other guys.
Only the first fucking 10 minutes of that movie is good.
Nah, that whole movie's good.
And also, that movie is more than 10 years old, yeah.
What?
Isn't it? I thought it came out in 2009.
It's exactly 10 years old.
Never mind then, you're still okay, just barely.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, like, the first straightforward comedy movie that comes to mind when I think a good one made in the last decade is fucking Booksmart. And that just came out last year.
Yeah, well, also because you're a slut for Bo Burnham.
Huh?
You're a slut for Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham's not in Booksmart. You're thinking of 8th
Did
grade.
you write that one?
No.
Fuck.
And that's not a comedy, really, in my book.
My bad.
It's like a dramedy. But yeah, Booksmart. Trying to think. This is the end is alright.
Anchorman 2?
This is the end is
That movie
alright.
sucks. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Oh, The Disaster
Okay, so I
Artist,
went on
but
Will
that
Ferrell's-
wasn't a straight comedy.
That's a documentary. That's a mockumentary, pretty much.
Yeah.
That one where they made about going to Korea and killing
I didn't watch that.
Kim Jong Il. What?
The Interview? I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch it either because it was like people popping off, going like, "Bro, you can't, this is so edgy. This is so smart." It's like, no, it's not.
I heard Davis liked it, but he loves all those types of movies. But
Yeah, Davis has some questionable opinions on
yeah.
on movies. What was the one that like everyone loved and Davis was like, nah, not for me.
A lot of movies.
Yeah. Man, I want to watch Zoolander too. Like, I know it's not gonna be good, but like I just want to see it.
Oh, Davis. Okay, Davis. I'm trying to remember a list
Would you
of.
consider the Lego Movie a comedy?
It's animated. I wouldn't call it a straight comedy if it's an animated comedy.
No, it's just a different medium.
I don't know. I guess it counts.
Yeah.
But then then we'd have to like count the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and all sorts of those.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay.
I just haven't seen those.
So
movies.
if we're counting that, then like, yeah.
What about That's My Boy?
Wait, is it the Andy Samberg, Argon
Yeah, with
Schlandler?
Andy Samberg. Pop Star Never Stop Stopping.
Oh fuck, that's also
Yeah.
a mockumentary, but that's a fucking great movie.
Yeah, but that's a comedy,
Yeah,
and that's funny.
That's a straight comedy. It's too bad that movie
Yeah.
failed.
In the box office?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, because it looked like it was going to be bad.
yeah,
And in terms of a movie, it's not great. It's like a really funny, very long SNL digital short.
yeah. But the
Which
SNL
is
digital
impressive
shorts are
because
the
SNL
only good
digital
SNL
shorts
things
suck.
anymore.
Yeah, because they're being made by YouTube guys.
Are they?
But yeah, Beck Bennett and Kyle.
Oh right, yeah.
both-
And I know that
they were both
SNL.
classic
I know
YouTube guys.
that for the past like 3 or 4 years at least, the Britannic guys have been writing for SNL.
Yeah.
And Britannic's fucking great, or at least they were when they were doing more frequent shit.
I think Andy Samberg looked like the most unfunniest dickhead when he was on SNL. Like, outside of the digital shorts, he was just like, bro, you could leave. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Andy Samberg. But do you know who I hate? And a lot of people
Who?
don't hate this man. He's not an SNL boy, but he's from like that era.
Yeah.
Jim from The Office.
You don't like John Krasinski?
No, he sucks. He's a fucking CIA fucking shill.
Well, yeah, I guess he makes, like, movies where it's just like, yo, I'm a military man.
Yeah, he's like, I love the CIA. They're cool. And I'm like, all right, fucker.
Yeah, but then he also is out there doing The Quiet Place with his wife, and
The Quiet Place is good, but, you know, Jack Ryan and fucking 13 Hours, the Benghazi thing, those are both not good movies and shows, and they're very pro-CIA, which is really upsetting because the CIA is
yeah.
evil. Come to my house.
I think-
Prove me otherwise, bitch.
come to my house, bake me a cake.
Fucking prove that you're the good guys, CIA. Come to my home.
Yeah. People are,
Yeah.
they have good, everyone's like, has real cool opinions, and then just sometimes they're like, hey, you know what's great? The military. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah, or like the big Republican Transformers opinion, which is like soldiers are good, the government's
Yeah.
bad.
Soldiers are here to protect us. It's the government that makes them be evil.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the fucking Transformers movies is literally like the good guys are like the grunt force soldiers who put their life on the line, and then like
yeah, and then there's like military man on top of them going like, you can't go save those civilians, and they're
Or,
like,
like-
fuck you, I'll go save those civilians, but also murder a bunch of people who are also trying to protect the civilians because we're just coming at this from different angles.
yeah, or like the president is like, well, let's do this, and it's
Yeah.
like the president and the government and the White House are evil, but the soldiers are good.
Or the president's the good guy, but the people surrounding him are evil. And it's like, bro, he chooses the people around him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what was a good movie?
What was?
That came out in 2011. In my opinion, Our Idiot Brother.
Oh, yeah. But that's like...
Yeah.
Again,
That was one of those Paul Rudd being like a standard human being ones.
Yeah, no, he's a weirdo in that. But that's like... That's more of a dramedy. That's more like of an indie dramedy. There's a lot more like...
Yeah.
Like, this is about family. The Wanderlust is the one that I'm like... That's the more silly one.
Yeah. I'm just looking through, like, the Parks and Rec cast. Finding, like... Because, like, they're all... Oh, man, you know what movies... You know what series I did not like?
What?
But... do you ever watch Wet Hot American Summer?
Yo, I love Wet Hot American Summer.
Cool. I love the first movie.
I love the movie.
I don't like anything that has come afterwards.
You didn't like the shows. I liked the first season of the show.
Yeah.
I didn't love the second one.
The first one, I was like, whatever, this isn't great. I thought it was kind of funny that they were just showing up as their old-ass selves.
Yeah.
And behaving like it
Well, it's a prequel, but they're all like 15 years older.
Yeah, and then they did the sequel show where the best joke was that fucking what was it? Who replaced Bradley Cooper on that?
Nobody.
Was it Adam Scott?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, where he says like, you think anyone's gonna notice? And it took me a minute to get it that was not that Adam Scott was not in the original show. He's supposed to be Bradley Cooper, but they said he looks so different because he got a nose job.
Yeah. That's a great joke.
Like, his entire height changed. I'm like, that's funny, but the rest of the show is bad and cringe.
I didn't remember a lot of the other stuff in it, but I did.
Yeah.
I liked the first season, and Chris Pine was just randomly in it.
Yeah.
That first season still got me.
I think the first season... Like, the movie...
The movie's fantastic.
Stellar. It's hilarious.
Unimpeachable.
Yeah, it's literally a camp... Like, those summer camp movies.
Yeah.
Parodied, but with no budget.
Well, yeah, it's like...
Like, they were able to get one song and they use it 8 times, and it's funny every time.
Well, it's like almost become, like... It's not only, like, a parody of camp movies. It's like a parody of American Pie.
Yeah.
And it came out, like, a year later. Which is fucking hilarious.
They probably like just made the movie like within 2 months.
Yeah.
Or when they go to the part where they go spend
the day in town and they all shoot up heroin.
The day in town, they all do heroin. One of them straight up dies, and then like the next scene, they just come back perfectly fine.
I love it when we go into town, even for just an hour.
Yeah, that was the best part. It's like it looks like they were there for 4 years, but they were there for an hour.
That's a great bit.
Yeah. The chase with Joe Latrulio and the other guy, I can't remember his fucking name.
Ken Marino.
He's like on the motorcycle chasing him.
Oh yeah.
While Turn Me Loose plays, but he's just running, and fucking Joe Latrulio is going full speed on this motorcycle he stole. And he's like, and then they get to like a small hay bale in the middle of the road, and it full on stops him. But and he's like, God damn it. A jump, and they do that RoboCop. $1 Million Man sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. The bit where he keeps tossing kids out of the car. That's funny.
Yeah. Paul Rudd being like this camp counselor who shows up late all the time, being also straight up a sexual predator. Because Paul Rudd's like, his character's like in his 20s and he's fucking the kids at camp.
No, he's not. He's just trying to hook up with the other girls.
Well, he's successfully hooking up with a lot of the girls.
Yeah, but he's like they're not all in their 20s. They're supposed to be teenagers.
Did you like?
They're supposed to be like 16,
21
17.
Jump Street?
Huh?
Did you like the 21 Jump Street remake?
Yeah, I liked those. Those were good.
Because that came out in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd call them action comedies.
Fine. Yeah, you're right. You got me.
But yeah, I like those movies. Those are good.
Yeah.
Lord and Miller.
I like Channing Tatum. He's
Channing
funny.
Tatum's good. I like Jonah Hill a lot too.
Yeah, I did not expect to like the second one. I literally thought it was going to be just like a shitty sequel.
Yeah.
You know, like how all comedies are. Like the Hangover one is much better than the Hangover 2 and all that.
Yeah.
But like
2, I think, lives in the fucking public consciousness even more.
Yeah, 2 is just like they knew what they were doing. Even making fun of the fact that they couldn't hang out in the Korean church anymore. They had to move one building over.
So now it's 22 Jump Street. Yeah, that's a good joke.
And I think they even make fun of it, where it's like they just point it out like immediately.
Yeah, they
it's
keep making fun of the ideas of sequels.
Yeah,
like they're like this department was so successful before the top brass has basically decided, instead of coming up with a new idea, we're just going to do it again, and so we're just doing the same thing but with more money. Oh, really? And like they keep making jokes about that, and that's funny. But also, like, the opening of that movie has like one of the longest lasting audio memes of the last decade.
Oh, my name's Jeff.
Like, that's still something people joke about.
Yeah, I did not like that. I did not think that was funny at all.
That joke?
Yeah.
Where they're pretending to be Hispanic? I had to
keep hearing people go, like, my name's Jeff. It's like, fucking shut up, bro.
My favorite bit of that joke is, instead of the my name Jeff, it's when Jonah Hill's trying to be the Hispanic guy, and he's like, yo, man, you look like you just came out of a Mumford & Sons concert and shit. Because he's talking about how white the guy was. Just a good line. Channing Tatum's character falling in love with women's studies and becoming a feminist is a good bit, where then like they make fun of him, they accuse them of being gay, and then he gets really pissed off and he's like, being gay, there's nothing, like, he's just like he's become so informed that he's like, you can't fucking say that shit. That's a good bit.
Did you ever see Keanu?
No, I didn't.
I think that's a fun movie.
Is it?
Yeah, well, because it's about, like,
I know it's Key and Peele.
It's the Key and Peele. They are two. I think they're cousins.
Oh.
Keegan-Michael Key. The character he plays is like the black-white dude. The white-black dude. Sorry.
Like where he's like very.
He's very gentrified. He's a very normal. He's just a very normal black guy. Like, though, how white people wish black people.
Suburban. He's very suburban.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even so much. So like he goes through the whole movie, like trying to act thug. It's like a getting in touch with your roots thing, but not in a good way. Where they're trying to act up. Well, something happens. Jordan Peele's cat gets stolen.
Yeah, and the cat's named Keanu.
Yeah, and they want to get him back, so they have like an uncanny likeness to these two hardcore like killers. So they played as well.
Yeah.
But they were wearing like, they had like long hair. They looked like fucking Columbine kids.
Oh.
Yeah, like literally. I'm sure they just look like, hey, you know those kids that did that awful thing that set off a bunch of chain reactions and they haven't stopped because America won't move forward with gun control? Yeah, let's look like them. So they pose that they are them. So they have to keep like fake acting tough based off of like things they've seen in hip hop, but to like actual gangsters. Like Method Man is the guy they're facing off against.
Damn.
So, and you go through this whole fucking like journey of becoming like black dudes. Like, because they both have like standard like jobs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Jordan Peele was fucking lazy and never applied himself. He was like a dude who lived in a small apartment and smoked weed, and he made calendars or something. Like, it was a weird job. And then Keegan-Michael Key was just like a standard office guy who was like kind of not aggressive. Like, he didn't
very passive.
Make himself known. Yeah, so it's very obvious that Rob Hubel is like this dude who was like friends, who went on like a trip with his wife, but for the kids. Like, their daughters were friends, and they were like had to go to this thing. So his wife and Rob Hubel went on, and Rob Hubel tried to fuck his wife. So the first thing he does is he sees him, after he a car crashed through his fucking house, he walks up and just punches the shit out of him and says, "Stay the fuck away from my wife." Where at the beginning of the movie, he would have walked up and been like, "Hey, buddy, so I was talking to my wife over here, and she said you're making some uncomfortable passes at her."
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, sorry. Oh, didn't intend to do that." But in his mind, he's like, "I fucking hate you, bro." So he'd be like real like passive aggressive about it. But then by the end of the movie, he's like,
kicking ass.
"I'm gonna fucking kill you if you come near my family, motherfucker."
That's fun.
Yeah, and the thing is at the end of the movie is they go to prison
Oh yeah.
because they actually killed someone. And they're, I think it's Tiffany Haddish plays this character, where she's like a secret FBI agent infiltrating the gang, and she's like, "Yeah, you guys like killed, like, got rid of 2 serial killers, but you still killed someone, and you also did reckless driving, and you endangered a bunch of people, so you're gonna have to go to prison for like a year or 2." So
that's dope. You know what?
It was fun.
You gotta watch Booksmart.
Do I?
Yeah, it's good. It's really funny.
Is it about kids?
Blake saw it in theaters like twice.
Yeah, I know, but Blake actually likes movies.
Yeah, I like good movies. Blake likes it.
You know what? This is a fucking stellar cast.
Right?
It's got Will Forte and Jason Sudeikis. Done.
They're barely
Lisa
in it.
Kudrow's there as well. Yeah, still.
Yeah.
They're in it, though. That'll...
It's Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein are just fucking nail this. Nail the movie.
Yeah.
If you're trying to remember where you know Beanie Feldstein from, it's because she was in Lady Bird.
I didn't see that either.
Oh, that's a good movie too.
Well, actually, I went to Beanie Feldstein, and you know what she is known for?
Being Jonah Hill's sister.
Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising.
Because she's Jonah Hill's sister.
Is she?
Yeah. Which is funny, because
Why don't they have the
Booksmart
same
is
last name?
like... And people... Honestly, this is like a comparison I think people make to try to insult the movie, but I think it's like... There's only so many plots of movies to make. People are like, oh, it's just Superbad, but with girls. And I'm like, yeah, and it's better than Superbad, in my opinion.
And you know what? You know who makes really hit or miss movies?
Who?
Or is involved in fucking Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I
He's in a
find
lot
him
of-
very likable, though.
Yeah. I find him very likable. I think he
does really good at TV, though.
Adam McKay's his writing partner, right?
No. It's somebody else. I forget his name.
Wait, I'm just gonna look up his writing credits.
But anyway, him and his writing partner...
He wrote Neighbors 2. That's why that movie sucks.
he wrote both Neighbors movies.
Oh, fuck, did he?
Yeah, he writes like almost every movie that he's in. He just doesn't always direct them. But he does really well on TV. Oh, it's Evan Goldberg is his...
Evan Goldberg.
But yeah, he does really good on TV because him and Evan Goldberg produced Preacher, the TV show, The Boys for Amazon. They did...
He shows up as himself in an episode of The Boys.
Yeah. They did... They produced what's that time travel one? I don't remember. But they also are producing the adult animated series for Invincible. So lots of comic book adaptations,
yeah.
but Invincible I really want to see, because that's that one. I think I've yelled at you to read Invincible a bunch of times, but that's that one where it's like essentially a Superboy, but it's written by Robert Kirkman, who created The Walking Dead, the comic.
Yeah.
And so it's like essentially there's this guy Mark, and his dad he learns essentially at his dad's Superman that he might get powers one day, and when he's in high school he gets powers. And so it's basically there's a complete like DC-esque universe. It's like a DC and Marvel universe combined. But like there's just so many like funny and interesting, clever like things that they've done with it. And it goes a lot of places that you don't expect. And I really don't want to spoil any of it because it's not super duper well known by non-comic book people. So I don't want to say anything that happens. But there's a lot
in
of
case people decide to go write it.
Huh?
I mean, watch it.
Yeah,
Like in certain, yeah, people will watch the show and not be like, oh, I know exactly how it happens.
yeah. So I'll type out to you like what the big twist in the beginning arc is.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Okay. Bro, I can't believe his dad, the whole time, is just... He's causing the crimes.
Okay, fuck it. Yeah, I'll spoil it. So essentially, the big twist. So his dad's basically the Superman of this universe. So he was sent from this planet to protect it. But the planet's not actually destroyed, and he wasn't sent to protect. He was sent as an invading force. But he was sent there essentially to like make the people there like be more subservient to him and be more okay for them to come. And so then, Mark is like has to fight against his own dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like Castlevania Season 1.
It's like Castlevania except more evil because the dad was evil the whole time. It wasn't like something happened. It's like no, you guys were supposed to be slaves. I just did this nice stuff so that you'd start liking us, and then we're all gonna show up.
Sick.
It's a really cool idea and how they find out is because he kills essentially the rest of the Justice League. Oh,
yeah.
And my favorite little piece of writing that's kind of interesting in this series is like the equivalent of Batman in that universe. That city, it was placed under like a wizard's curse to always be nighttime, and the cops don't like essentially the government doesn't come there anymore. Like the only people who didn't evacuate are still stuck in the city, and the city's always nighttime. So it's like a fun little idea.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like a background thing, but it's cool. Well, do you have anything you want to talk about, Ian?
I don't know. I played a bit of Valorant yesterday.
Oh, is it any good?
That game is fucking great.
That's cool.
Like it's straight up Counter-Strike, like in all, but it's you got character abilities instead of having equipment. Like in Counter-Strike, you can buy like smoke grenades, normal grenades, and like Molotovs.
Yeah.
And flashbangs. This is each like individual characters get abilities like that instead. Instead of everyone being able to buy smokes, it's like, oh, only this guy can buy smokes, or only this guy can get flashbangs, or oh, this lady has a grenade she can throw.
Okay.
So instead of just like, because the thing in Counter-Strike is like you just fill up with like a smoke you buy a smoke, armor, flashbang, like every fucking round.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of boring. Like every encounter is exactly the same. It's I'm gonna hold this angle. You're gonna get bored of waiting, and you're gonna peek me, and either I'm gonna die because I lost focus for a second, or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And you get your shit fucked. But this, it's like you have to consider more about what character they're playing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna hold this angle, but you could be the girl who can just like jump high up and then slowly float down and shoot the shit out of me, and I have to like readjust where I'm looking and shit. Or you could use your move and zip past. You can throw down like a drone that'll come and like, if it gets too close to me, it'll explode and take away like half my health, or it might kill me if I don't have enough health, so I have to focus on shooting that. You might peek me and start killing me with this.
Well, that's cool.
There's just like a lot more thinking that isn't like standing and waiting.
So is it like what I said? Like it's like if Overwatch was Counter-Strike?
Kinda.
Okay, cool.
But it's like if there's like a scale of like Counter-Strike to Overwatch, it goes like Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, Overwatch.
Okay.
Or Rainbow Six has the same structure, except it has the class-based, like the hero, the character-based stuff, where it's like that you get your special equipment.
So yeah,
but you still
Rainbow Six
have
is
the basic
closer to
equipment.
Counter-Strike, whereas Valorant's a little bit closer to Overwatch. But if it's on the scale where they have similarities, it's still
Rainbow
like a
Six,
shared.
and there's like, you could also put Valorant a bit closer to CS because there's the buying system, and you can you like build your character, you build your like.
But also,
loadout a bit
it's got
more
butts
round per
like
round.
Overwatch.
It's got butts, and I like that the dude, because usually when you get this cartoony art style, it's like the women are just fucking stacked, they're hot as fuck, and then the dudes are like ripped, they're just like impossibly jacked, and it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like the dudes that are even impossibly jacked still have realistic human proportions, and then they're also like, there's guys that aren't just giant ripped dudes.
Well, I mean, Overwatch
over-
has that male character problem where most of their male characters aren't that fuckable.
If you're a coward.
Listen,
Well, yeah,
Soldier
like,
76
Genji-
is fuckable, but I can't think of a literal other character in that game that I'd want.
Soldier 76 is fuckable, but he's also old, so like
Yeah.
it depends on how you feel about
Yeah,
that.
but he's
And
like
he was
jacked and he
married,
wears
so
a mask.
He was married, so he might be like one of those dudes where he's like, I miss my husband, so I can't. Oh. Reaper is just an incorporeal being now, like he's literally just a smoke man.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Sorry, the
and
gun,
also he's
the Western guy, the cowboy man. He's pretty fuckable.
Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a daddy. He is a bear.
Yeah.
Genji is like, he's a robot man now. He had like his entire body ripped apart and then was made into a robot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't see the parts that would make somebody more attractive. It's not like
Yeah.
Ex Machina where they've made the robot human-y, but also so fuckable.
Yeah, no one has an ass.
Yeah.
Well, okay, one character has an ass, and they nerfed it. Like Solid Snake from Brawl to Smash Ultimate, or whatever the
How
fuck.
fucking dare they disrespect us like this?
Yeah, like, so, before, they had this skin for, what's his name? Reaper.
Yeah.
Well, you got it when you bought, like, the Founders Edition, the Origins Edition.
Oh, yeah?
It was him prior to his accident, before he had his abilities. Mm-hmm. He can still use his abilities, obviously, because the character needs to be playable. Where it's just, he's wearing, like, just this fucking Latino dude with, like, a fucking beanie or a toque on, tight-ass, like, Under Armour-esque shirt, and, like, these, like, tight pants. And he had fucking cake. Like, full-on.
That's dope.
Ass. He was double-cheeked up the whole week.
Nice.
What is he doing out here with all this ass? Getting play of the game, that's what.
Nice. But
Like,
they
and
nerfed
then,
it.
Then they did this other update later on where they changed some of the origin skins because they did a past telling. And his ass just went from being like whoop, to being more like a whoop.
So they flattened it.
Yeah. This man had ass, and now he doesn't.
I think
Maybe he has it again.
We need more himbo representation.
Yeah. Well, McCree was more of a himbo.
Yeah.
Like, he was the one who was, like, treated as kind of an outlaw idiot. Who's just like, yeah, I rob trains. I'm a classic Western
Cowboy.
vigilante. But this is the year 2033. Or, like, 2500 or some shit. Like, Overwatch is far in the future. If you're a furry, you got Winston.
Oh, that's the gorilla man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'll give you that. But no furry wants to fuck the hamster.
Yeah. Well, some furry does, but let's call them a pedophile.
Well, no.
You don't know how old that hamster is.
I mean, I would say that's more of a beastophile.
Yeah, but they're a furry, so it's cool.
There's a difference between...
I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's the big one. I think the furries are going to leave us bad comments. I know there's a difference between being a furry and wanting to fuck actual animals. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I know furries don't have zoophilia.
There's Roadhog.
Zoophilia, by the
fat
way,
dude.
is the name of the sequel to Zootopia.
Okay, great. Where there's a gross fox-rabbit hybrid running around.
No, she got an abortion.
Oh yeah, you're right. And she also said Smash is a party game. That's my favorite one, is when someone changed it to Nick saying, I just think Smash is a... No, her saying, I just think Smash is a party game, and Nick going...
Yeah.
Anyways, Overwatch. Not enough himbos.
Not enough himbos.
Not enough men. There's not enough just hot men.
Yeah.
There's enough hot women, but they also all have the same body type. That was another thing. There's the body types, they're probably all the same for hitbox purposes, but they feel different.
That's cool.
Not everyone is like some chick running around with high C's to low D's.
Yeah.
With like they all have trim waist, but that's just how they have to be for hitbox purposes. They could theoretically put out a character slightly different in the future. They probably won't, because it's Riot, and look at all their League of Legends females.
Yeah.
But, they just have slight variations in body, which is better than what Overwatch did.
Well, Overwatch had some characters with significant differences.
But the females are all the same.
Except Mei.
Except for Pharah.
And Mei or Mai or whatever.
Kind of. They also, I think they slimmed down Mei as time went on.
Oh.
Yeah, which was a cowardice move.
That is a cowardice
move.
move.
No, what they did was they made like some art where, she looks like she has some thick ass legs, but it's actually because she's wearing snow pants that are like fucking 3 inches thick.
That's dumb and bad.
Yeah, like her whole thing is she's not actually that thick. It's that she's wearing her Arctic gear at all times.
That's
so
stupid.
She looks thick, but she's not.
That's false advertising.
And then
why are the people... Hold on. Why are the people that are mad about Jill Valentine not mad about this?
Because Jill Valentine was a character that existed who was designed to be hot and sexy in Resident Evil 3, now got a Lara Croft-esque redesign.
And it's not even that. Like,
sexy,
she's just as hot, if not more.
Did you see the thing I reposted on Tumblr where it's like Resident Evil fans mad that new Jill isn't sexy, and someone wrote below it where it's like, man, straight men are just the dumbest people on her.
Yeah. Anybody who thinks the new
here it is.
fucking...
Capcom explains why Jill Valentine has less sex appeal and Resident gets cut off. Less sex appeal. I swear to God, straight men are as dumb as rocks.
Yeah. That's true, dude. Like, honestly, she doesn't have less sex appeal. She's not wearing a skirt anymore. You can change it.
She's got tomboy sex appeal now.
She's not even tomboy. She's wearing, like, the same outfit. It's just a slightly more practical one.
She's got... Yeah, her fucking... Okay, it's not more practical. It's straight up practical. The other one was just not practical. More practical implies that the other one has some practicality. The other one was straight up dumb. I get it that she was like chilling in her apartment, and the outbreak started. Like, she was sitting at home and it started. She wasn't prepared. But like, who the fuck chills at home in a tube top and a mini skirt with a fucking white sweater tied around your waist? It's stupid.
It was
dumb.
The 90s. We all
that?
wore that. You know that.
It was the 90s. You're right. Everyone was impractical. Did you ever see a Disney Channel original movie? Everyone wore like...
No, but like seriously...
Shirts on shirts.
Yeah, that's the 90s look of like the fucking jacket around the waist.
Yeah.
Tube top and skirt. People forget what the 90s were like. Because only half of that fashion is coming back now.
Let's stop.
Yeah. We're stopping half.
Don't bring back the pants.
Yeah. Don't bring back Jinkos.
Yeah, 90s to early 2000s pants. Like, in 10 years, if I see some fucking rave pants, I'm going to beat the shit out of a child. Like, if 10... Like,
but, like, flannels came
when
back.
My nephew is like... No, that's fine. Flannels can stick around forever.
Yeah.
Well, flannels never left. They just left...
They left for the mid-aughts to early 2010s.
They left the mainstream.
Yeah.
They never left grunge and punk kids.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, so did fucking Hammer Pants. But they didn't come back into the mainstream.
Yeah, well... anyways, in 10 years, when my nephew is like 14, if he walks in and he's wearing some fucking...
Jinko jeans.
Jinko jeans, or those... Was it Jinko? I think there's another one of them. whatever, those giant wide leg pants that are fucking stupid and impractical, or he's wearing baggy pants where like the whole pant leg is just dragging on the floor. I'm gonna rip a shit apart and make him wear jorts all summer.
Jorts, bring back jorts.
If we're bringing back shit, let me have my jorts back. I will make some cutoffs. Right? Actually, you know what? I won't. My current pants are fresh and new, and were expensive.
If I have jeans that get torn apart, I'm going to turn them into Daisy Dukes and wear them, and nobody will be able to stop me.
Well, here's the thing: is my pants don't get torn apart at the legs. It's all the crotch because my fucking thunder thighs. Like it rubs together and just is a problem. I see people go like, oh, I got a hole in my pants. Whatever, I guess I keep wearing them. Like, oh, I got a hole in my pants. I gotta throw them in the trash. Why don't you just keep wearing them? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I don't want my fucking nut and ball when I'm free balling it constantly to just rip through.
Oh, yeah.
This is small. Like, this is still wearable, but I wear them to work. Like, these were the last pants I was wearing to work.
Yeah.
So, like, I would fucking...
That's
like,
a small hole. You could just throw
my...
a patch on there.
Yeah, but it's gonna get worse. It's not worth my time.
Yeah, I guess.
I would get off my fucking forklift tow motor or whatever, and like I just feel the tear across my nut and be like, God damn it.
I don't freeball it because I don't appreciate
I'm not freeballing it. It's that I wear boxer briefs and I got like the ones that like cut my shit. So like it's in that around that spot.
So I wear boxers.
Yeah, you seem like the kind who never grew up.
Huh? What did you say?
I said you seem like the kind of dude who never grew up.
Fuck you, Ian. How about this?
I actually fucking...
Boxers are way more comfy.
That's a matter of opinion. I don't think so. I always like my shit swaying around.
I always feel like trapped in boxer briefs.
I want to.
I don't want to. Also, if you wear boxers, then the bulge through your pants looks more interesting.
Not if you got these ones that fucking hold your shit.
Yeah, those
better.
That round it around, I know, but
yeah, it looks
that looks normal. I'm talking
when you're
interesting, baby.
Like, what?
That looks normal. I'm talking interesting. If I wear sweatpants with boxers and I get a boner, you can see my entire dick left to right.
Okay, same, but like, whatever. You're being ridiculous.
I don't know, whatever. I just prefer it. I was trying to create comedy.
Whatever.
Oh, by the way, I do want to
right
shout
out
out here. I did give it a like, but I do want to shout it out. Your boy Stevie.
Yeah.
What a fucking good man.
He did what I asked.
Yeah, we were like, yo, go comment on the YouTube version, and he did. He explained what anti-aliasing was, and then he agreed with me that ink is cool.
I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, he was like, shoutouts to Nathan for dropping the ink mention in 2020, and I'm like, fuck yeah. So I liked... I think I pinned the comment, but to be fair, it's the only comment on the video, because it only got like 5 views or something, I don't know.
I don't even know what the fuck ink is, actually. Goddamn, I already forgot.
INQUE from Batman Beyond, baby.
Oh, okay, yeah, that guy.
Girl,
sorry.
We were talking about who's hot in the DC universe.
He also hit me. He messaged me back about the CPUs as well.
Yeah.
I'm simultaneously wrong, but I'm also right.
Okay, that's good.
Because the Zen 2 is an 8-core CPU, where my i7 7800K or whatever the fuck I have is a 4-core.
So it's double good.
But the Zen 2 isn't a Ryzen or some shit. Like it's not the powerful version of the Zen 2. It's like the middle of the road Zen 2, and also it's a modified version. So we don't know really what it's going to do.
Yeah. It's custom in the PS5. What they were saying is like the Xbox has like technically better specs in terms of just like
the Xbox
raw
will
power.
Look better, and what you're gonna get with the Xbox is a significant graphical upgrade and a better like
more. It's going to be more
Well,
significantly
like,
graphically powerful. But what PlayStation 5 is doing, apparently, this is what tech people on Twitter have been talking about. Is
they're
like
looking for that speed.
Well, no, it's not just speed, but it is a much faster SSD. But also, it's just like how they've rerouted power and did certain things is like super uncommon with for like computers and shit. Like they've just done this thing that's like sort of never been done before, the way they're running it. And like a lot of tech people are like, when I want to get my hands on the PS5, because even though it's slightly less powerful, it's 10 times more interesting, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's cool. What are you most excited for the PS5, Ian?
I don't know. Nothing really. Like,
Final Fantasy VII Part 2.
There's no exclusives coming out that makes me want to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I will, but it's mostly going to be for...
Like, yeah, I think I'm going to wait until there's something I want on it.
They're supposed to be announcing shit throughout the summer.
Yeah. If they pop off with, like, Bloodborne cart, fuck yeah, I'm there.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man PS4.
It's already basically been leaked that they're doing a second Horizon game.
Yeah. I hope... Here's the thing. Hopefully, what they do is a new location and a new character. While Aloy is cool, her story is over. We do not need to do any more.
Yeah.
We got the origin point of the universe. She is a reincarnated clone, whatever the fuck, of Elizabeth Sobek, the person who saw the end of the world coming and made everyone create this vaults, and we saw the man who caused the fall of the vaults and why everyone got fucked up. We don't need to see any more of her story.
Are you hyped for the Order 1887 though?
No, what is
the
that?
sequel to the Order 1886? It was a bit.
I never played that.
I didn't play it either. I did actually. Fuck. I did actually. Fuck. Yeah, Order 1886. Everybody shout on it for being a really short game, but it's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's just short.
It's just short. It's just a short third-person shooter. It's not the best game ever made, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see whatever Sony's getting Bluepoint to do next, because apparently they're working on another big name remake master thing, which is cool.
Even though I'm not a big fan of Naughty Dog's practices right now, I think it'd be cool to get another Uncharted, but not with Nathan Drake.
Yeah, or I'd love to see them do another new IP, because obviously, like, The Last of Us Part 1 was very successful, and I'd love to see them try something again that's new and completely, like, out of left field again. Because it's like, these people made these, like, third-person shooters, and then they switched to doing this, like, that were, like, all T-rated, and they switched to this fucking M-rated, like, post-apocalypse story. I'd love to see them do, again, like, another switch. And they can utilize, again, like, Last of Us still utilizes similar things from Uncharted. But, yeah, I'd love to see them do another new franchise. Because, like, on the PS1, they did Crash. On the PS2, they did Jak and Daxter. On the PS3, they did Uncharted. On the PS4, they did more Uncharted and Last of Us, etc. And, like, they've been, like, sort of sitting in that same zone for, like, the entire... Since 2013, when the PS4 came out. This was the last new thing, right?
So pop off with a new IP and then have that going.
Yeah, because I mean, Ghost of Tsushima looked good, like, and it was Sucker Punch's first new thing post Infamous, right? So we're still going to see how that game is.
Infamous.
I'd take another Infamous. I'd love to see one that's more connected to the originals, though. I didn't really like how that was one of my big problems with Second Son. Is like, it was kind of neat to do the more powers, but it did feel like it takes place in a real city instead of a fake city. Like Empire City and La Marais were both fake cities, and then Seattle's real. And then, like, the first two were a bit more comic booky, and the third one was, like, sort of more realistic. But I felt like its characters and story was a little bit weaker. So I'd love to see them do an Infamous that was sort of closer in tone to the first two.
Yeah, fucking Infamous 2 has the worst evil, like, options. There's
well-written
easy
ones.
ways. No.
No?
Nah, straight. Did you do? I did. Well, I beat that. I've, like, played that game like 3 times.
Sorry. Oh, you mean Second Son, which is the third one?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I was like, Infamous 2 has the best. Like,
Okay, so no, fucking in Second Son, there's like a literal point where you meet up with when you meet up. What's the girl's name?
don't remember. Oh wait,
girl who has the neon powers. Fleck.
Flicks. I don't know.
Something. I don't know. She's cool. Her powers is the best one in that game.
The neon ones.
Yeah. And that's why the First Light DLC is, or standalone game, is even worth playing. Because if it was any of the other characters, like, well, this sucks.
The TV one was pretty cool.
The TV power is all right. But so, what you do with her is you go and you your brother was straight up murdered and shit. It sucks because of all the drugs that you guys became drug addicts, and that's bad.
Yeah.
But you know whose fault it really is? And like they could have gone literally anywhere else. They could have blamed the cops. But instead you say it's the parents. So you go to PTA meeting, like protests or whatever, like a bunch of normal human beings just protesting because they think the city's unsafe for their children, and you murder them.
So it's just evil for the sake of evil. It's not like
it's like super evil, just randomly killing people.
In
It's
Infamous
bad.
1, the evil things are for doing things that are like self-serving. And in Infamous 2, the evil side is essentially so in Infamous 2, the big thing is essentially that like this beast is coming and it's going to basically end the world. And it basically leaves you with two options depending on what side you pick, right? There's the side that's like I want to save all the humans and all the meta-humans, like all the people with powers die, or I want to save all the people with powers and all the regular people die. And it's like, you're going to die and if you save everybody else. So it is more of a dilemma. And so, like, and it's really funny because there's, like, side characters, and one of them is usually, like, very goody two-shoes, and the other one's a little bit more bad. But when it comes to the ending, the goody two-shoes character goes, I don't want to die. Fuck this. I'll save all the metahumans. And the one who does their own thing is like, fuck what you think. Everybody else deserves to live instead of us because it's the right thing to do. And so it's really funny how, like, the quote-unquote...
Wait, is it all metahumans die, or is it you die?
All, including you.
It's rough. That's a rough one. I get that but there is more humans than there was metahumans. So.
Yeah, right? So it's such a, like, a good pick to do. And then, like, if you do pick the evil side, your close friend Zeke, who, like, is a fuck-up in the first game and in the second game is trying to redeem himself. And you actually have to just kill him with your weakest attack. And it's, like, one of the best scenes in, like, the game, at least. Like, it's fucking incredible. It's sad as fuck.
Give me one, like... The multiple powers thing was cool, but I think it's more interesting if you give me one.
That's Infamous 1 and 2. You're just lightning in both games.
Yeah. Well, give me like fire or something next.
Yeah, so I'd love to see a new one that's, again, like more of the tone of the first two. That'd be fun.
Yeah. They don't have to do government bad again, because that was good enough in
What'd you say?
Son. They don't have to do government bad again, because we got that enough in Second Son.
Yeah, they can do whatever. Like you can do whatever choices, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love, again, Ghost of Tsushima. I want to see how good it is.
Sure. I don't know.
I think based on what knowledge I currently have, even though I was saying the opposite when we first learned when that game was coming out, and it was like kind of they threw it under the bus. Like compared to then, what I was saying, now I'm more likely. I want to call EB Games and cancel my fucking Last of Us pre-order and pre-order fucking Ghost of Tsushima at this point.
Yeah. Also, I don't think you might as well cancel your pre-orders, because I don't think you can get the game.
Huh?
From EB Games right now.
You can.
Does EB Games have curbside pickup?
Oh, I ordered it online, my dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I always get my games mailed to me. I don't go to stores.
Yeah, that's fine. Because the fucking, there was an EB Games near the one
near your house got closed.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like permanently.
Yeah.
The other one that's close to the Walmart is still open, but
cool.
that's also kind of close to my house. Like I'm in between both of them.
Yeah.
I don't buy physical games anyways.
No, I don't either. I just buy shit online. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, it depends. Amazon, Best Buy, EB Games. It just depends on which one I want to pick.
I don't know. I would really like EB Games to not exist so I can stop getting gift cards from there from, like, my grandpa. It's like, bro, I don't like this place.
You can use the fucking gift card online, and then it doesn't really matter if you do or don't like it. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, when I went in, I just had, like, I got 2 gift cards and I had like $75. And so I like walked in. I'm like, I know they have other bullshit now, so either I'll get like a new controller or something else. So, and then I saw they had like a Zelda Figma, and I'm like, all right, and I bought that.
Figma are cool.
Yeah, especially when it's the Twilight Princess Zelda.
Oh yeah,
My favorite Twilight Princess Zelda game.
Twilight Princess is, yeah, probably my fave. It's my favorite 3D one, at least.
Yeah, it's probably just my fave.
Yeah, I mean, I also really love Link to the Past. They're the ones I have the most connection to.
I'm not the one. Well, the 2D one I have the most connection to is Minish Cap.
I didn't play Minish Cap.
Yeah, it was like the first Zelda game that I actually had.
The only
I had like Wind Waker, but I feel like I didn't.
the only handheld Zelda that I really touched. I mean, obviously, like, I picked up the fucking Ocarina of Time remake, but I didn't play much of it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, the only handheld Zelda I played was Phantom Hourglass, and I didn't like it.
Oh, that's because that's a bad one.
Well, I've seen stuff of it recently, and I'm like, oh, I would like this a bit more, but it's just as a kid, I didn't really like it. But to be fair, as a kid, I bought all sorts of stupid games for my fucking DS.
Yeah, you kind of just see a game as a child, and you're like, not gonna look up anything about this. Time to just get it.
Oh, Alex Rider in Operation Stormbreaker? Fuck yeah. I haven't even seen that movie. But I'll buy the tie-in game. Because I'm a smart boy. I bet you, if anybody's listening to this podcast, when I said Alex Rider in Operation Stormbreaker, they had like one of those Ratatouille moments where they're like, oh my god, I haven't thought about this in 50 years.
It's like my mother used to make.
Yeah. Except it's Alex Rider in Operation Stormbreaker, the movie adaptation of a book that only one person I'd ever met read.
Yeah, I don't read.
Yeah, that's...
I don't read, I don't watch movies, I only play video games.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I really want to watch something else more.
Yeah, you know what you should watch then?
What?
One Piece!
No. For cartoons, I'm watching Harley Quinn, and I'm going back through Batman the Animated Series so I can catch up to Batman Beyond and go through that. By the way, Ian...
Yeah?
I'm really cheesed because the only Blu-ray version of Batman Beyond comes with a fucking Funko Pop.
Oh, just trash it. Throw it in the garbage.
Hold on. Let me get it.
Or go... I think you're wireless. Just go online and see if some other, like, loser, he's like, I like collecting Funko Pops, but I don't want to buy the Blu-ray. Yeah, it looks like shit.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst, because thankfully Terry's suit is kind of like a... Like, him, the eyes being all fucked up isn't that bad. I'll keep it.
No, it's just like a...
It's very silver. It's not black, which is weird.
Yeah, considering that Batman Beyond was same with, like, the Batman animated series, where it's a very matte black show.
Yeah.
Very flat.
Well, it's still Bruce Timm's style, but it's a bit more digital.
Yeah, but it still doesn't need to have that shine on that thing, on the Funko Pop.
No, there's sometimes there's shine on it, like drawn on the suit, but also it turns invisible sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like, even though Batman Beyond is very well beloved, I feel like it still gets slept on when it comes to, like, more mainstream adaptations.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they did work... In the New 52, they did work Terry into the comics, but instead of the old man being Bruce, it was Damian. So
Yeah.
so it was like further in the future even, where it was like Damien's the old man teaching Terry, and then he came back. It was like called Future's End or something. But I don't remember it being very good. Somebody can correct me. I didn't really read Future's End. I just read like one issue of it and went, Terry's in this, and then I was like, oh, this isn't my boy. They also did the Batman Beyond sequel comics, which was cool. But I didn't really love the art style because it didn't go for the same art style. It went for like a realistic-ish comic art style. And I'm like, I don't love this. But there is some cool stuff in there. They did like a future version of Hush, which was cool. And I think they did one other future version. I'm trying to remember. Oh, they made it so that Mad Stan didn't get killed.
Who?
Mad Stan. Oh, do you not remember Mad Stan from fucking Batman Beyond?
No, I don't.
He was a character who was like a terrorist guy who was like a protester. He hated the government, and he like was like a conspiracy theorist, and he'd just show up with guns and always shoot guns and blow shit up.
Oh, okay.
He's funny. He's a comic relief villain. He's never the main villain of any episode.
He's like that guy who gets his ass kicked like immediately every time.
Yeah, he's like the Shocker of Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I've explained on this podcast before why I love the Shocker.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've gone a bit too long on this because I have to edit this today because we're doing it a day late because Ian's the worst friend I have. Just kidding. I love you.
I felt like shit yesterday.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't actually mind. I just
felt like shit today as well. That's why I pushed it like 2 hours later.
It's okay. I still
also
love
because I stayed up till 8 watching One Piece.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I really
thought you
wish
were
that
caught
show
up.
had like. What?
I thought you were caught up.
In the manga, I don't watch the show as it
Then
comes
why
up.
were
I was
you
just, like,
watching
sitting
the
there
show, Ian?
Because I was just bored. I was bored and drunk.
Yeah, I guess. You should have watched Grand Blue Dreaming.
No.
Why?
I didn't want to get horny.
The show's not that horny.
Have you ever seen the character designs in Grand Blue?
You're thinking of Grand Blue Fantasy.
You know what? I am.
I'm talking Grand Blue Dreaming,
Fantasy.
which is that show about
I
college.
thought they were the same thing.
No, Grand Blue Dreaming is that show about college students that love to get fucking drunk and do scuba diving and shit.
Nice.
It's a very dumb, funny show that I watched in like one sitting, I think a year ago.
Can't wait till my pool's open so I can just get drunk around that.
All right. How about this, Ian? Right. To prevent you from harming yourself more, you've got to do 3 push-ups for every beer you drink from now on, till quarantine's over.
As I'm drinking, or can I just keep a tally and then do it the next day?
I would say in between drinks, or you can keep a tally, but you actually have to be honest and do it.
Okay. Well, I'm not a liar.
Okay.
So.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, I can't believe you would accuse me of such a thing.
I don't know. Sorry.
I'm gonna leave in anger and rage.
I think
now.
I'm a much worse liar than you because this is in high school. I'm not like this anymore, but one time I made up a story to see if I could convince my friend that it actually happened to both of us. And I did. And then I learned that that's a bad thing to do, and so I don't do it anymore.
Just dumb.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also... Also,
all right, whatever.
I convinced him he was there. Like, it wasn't just that I convinced him it happened. I convinced...
Bro, anyone could do that to me now. I'm like, they were like, yeah, you were there. I'd be like, oh yeah, sick. I don't remember any of it. I'll take your word.
Yeah. But don't actually do that to your friends. It's an evil thing to do. It's just, I didn't realize that at the time. Anyway, this has been the Media Hole Podcast. We love you here. We want you to stay safe, stay not sick. Don't protest places until the quarantine's lifted. And just let your hair grow out. We'll see what we're like post-time skip. If you want to...
Don't shave your beard or your pubes.
Hell yeah. If you want to check out more of this podcast, we're available on Spotify and iTunes and all of them. We're actually on even more now. I think we're on like Podchaser and shit. Podbean maybe even. Who's to say?
Nice.
Also we're on YouTube, youtube.com/N8SComedy. Anticipate a new video to be posted there with both of us soon. It's in the editing phase. It is audio lock. We just need to get it to picture lock. If you want to follow us on social meds, You got me. I'm on Twitter at The Media Hole. I'm on TikTok at The Media Hole. I'm on twitch.tv/The Media Hole. I'm on whenyourballs.get stuck to your leg.tumblr.com.
Change your name.
And where can they find you, Ian?
You can just Google it, Struggles V.
Hell yeah. Ian will one day surpass God in terms of followers, but as of right now, he's still with the rest of us. But we're working on it. But yeah, thanks so much.
Working on it.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give you a little, and take care.
Bye.